Hi, this is me, Ashwini, and welcome to a new series of ancient wisdom for modern living. So, today we're going to talk about Shakti, chaos, and health in this video. Now, Navratri is more than a festival of devotion and dance, it is a reminder of the Shakti, the energy or the force within us, the feminine energy that sustains, protects, and transforms us, and the ancient wisdom that aligns with modern science and everyday life, and especially about how we understand chaos and health. So we are going to discuss all these aspects in this video in great detail. So let's get going. Now, Navratri, what does it mean? It is basically the 9 nights that we welcome the goddess and evoke the goddess into our lives. And this comes right after the Pitru Paksh. The Pitru Paksh is around 16 days in which we remember our ancestors. So it is a celebration of renewal. It is also celebrating, as I've said before, the primal feminine force, which is the creative energy which manifests. It is the energy of creation and destruction. It is the energy which has been there before time, and it brings order and it removes chaos. So it does a fine balance between order and chaos. So, in our text, in Indian philosophy, Shakti is the cosmic energy that creates, preserves, and dissolves. She is not just order and beauty, she's also the storm, and she's also the chaos and the force of change. Uh, she nurtures, but is also able to remove things that are no longer required, and she dissolves all those things that are not required for the greatest good for humanity. When there is chaos, she will bring order, and when the order is no longer serving properly, she will again bring change and rearrangement. In us, she is resilience and the strength to fight circumstances and situations that harm us. So just imagine the goddess facing all the enemies and getting rid of them one by one. And that's how we must do in our lives as well. We must get rid or remove the obstacles and face our fears very strongly and with proactivity, just like the goddess does. And it could be anything, it could be, uh, you know, physically some harm, it could be people who harm us, it could be thoughts that come into our minds, it could be the wrong things or habits that we imbibe in ourselves that we must get rid of. And these habits can also affect our physical being as well. So you must have the strength from within to get rid of these negative uh, aspects that you have in your life. So in us, she is the vitality, the resilience, the strength, and how we can adapt to different circumstances when we are faced with different problems or events. Just the way the Devi takes care of all the attacks that she gets. If you read the Devi Mahatmya, she is faced with a lot of resistance, and how she gets rid of them is how we must draw our energy into understanding the Shakti, that is the energy that is there within us and around us. The Shakti or the energy that creates, sustains, and dissolves. She is order and change, and she is the power of transformation. So take strength in her strength and transform yourself into a better frame of mind. So let's now try and understand what is chaos in a little bit more detail. Chaos in Indian philosophy and chaos in modern science. Similar to chaos, we have something like this in Indian philosophy. So, in Vedas, there is a thought that creation comes from the potential that was there to be created. We could say it is chaos. We have the system of cycles of destruction and renewal and rebirth. We all know that. So in Indian philosophy, there is no concept as such as if from nothing came something, from something came everything. So there is always a potential which was there and it got created due to some imbalance in the system. So, so our ancestors saw chaos not as a problem but a creative ground, a potential. From chaos comes a new order, like the ocean churning during the Sagar Manthan, when after it got churned, came out the nectar. So it is basically a self-organization in complex systems. This is probably what they thought of. The concept is not of something that came out of nothing, like I said. There's always a possibility. So, in the Indian context, it is not disorder, it is an unmanifested potential that is already there. So, let's take the example of the yugas. Okay, this is truth. You have the yugas of truth, enlightenment, darkness, and then we can have they keep on going in a tandem. They keep on coming back, the Satyayug and Tretayug, etc. Now, the detailed video, I've already done this before. You can just check my channel and you'll find the video. So the yugas, or you can do a Google search on the different Satyugs, Tretayug, Dwapar Yug, etc. So the chaos talks about these systems of patterns which keep on coming. Of course, they are irregular, but they are still in a pattern. So you can also talk about the karmic cycles, the random twists of fate hidden under causal patterns. A small action can bring about large, unseen, unforeseen consequences. So order from chaos through a series of complex interconnected processes take place. And the theory of chaos focuses on underlying patterns and deterministic laws of dynamical system that are highly sensitive to the initial conditions. And so there is still the cycle which is going on due to small events which take place, which make a lot of changes. So you can see how the energy changes by making small efforts, right? So this is again the concept of Shakti and renewal. Now, Navratri and the goddess Durga, or the great goddess Shakti, or the energy that we call it, the energy of renewal and change, is also connected to dance. Uh, what does chaos mean? Chaos means change, something is different, and we must adapt to it. So, science says that chaos is not disorder but adaptability. So life thrives when systems adjust to the uncertainty. You can take the example of our heartbeat, which is irregular, but there is definitely a pattern. Any change, a big change in it, can lead to some problem in our heart or our immunity in the body. There's some imbalance in the body, some difficulty somewhere in the chakras, and you have some problem in your body, and your health is then affected. As we all know, we have chakras going on in our body, in the kundalini, and a problem in a chakra or a blockage can lead to a certain sickness or a blockage in the way you think or how you handle life or problems. Okay, so this can happen. So you have to keep those chakras in balance, and each chakra is governed by a goddess and a god. Okay, so that part I will just discuss later afterwards. So there's something called complexity science, and we will just talk about that. So even our thoughts can be irregular and not balanced. So that also creates a host of problems like bipolar disorder or anger, fear, depression is one of the main things which can happen due to imbalances. Complexity science, let's talk about that. Complexity science is a study of the system which is composed of different interacting and interdependent parts that exhibit unexpected behaviors or emergence. These are emergent studies. When if viewed on a large scale, there is a pattern. So this study, the complexity science, focuses on adaptive systems, which are systems that can organize themselves into different environmental changes, and there are no hierarchies in this. So there are concepts of adaptation, of course, organization, emergence, and the network theory and the neuroscience theory is also a part of this, along with the ecosystems theory. You can also see these connections which they have made of random events, but they're finding a pattern in these small events. On a larger scale, a pattern is developed. All right. So this can be seen in the way financial markets behave or how cities are spread. There is some kind of interconnectedness in this. So in this complexity science, the relationships are emphasized and interactions between these components, uh, rather than studying these components in isolation, is taken. So what is emergence? It is a whole system which exhibits properties that cannot be predicted in its individual parts. So, like a flock of birds. Now, if you want to know the studies about this, you can go to the last part of this video where there is different types of diagrams are there. We show you how people study who are in this field, the complexity science, how they uh, build a sort of a diagram, maybe of the city or the river systems or the brain, of how the neurons are connecting. So you can have a look at this at the end of the video. There are a few charts which you can have a look at. I will not discuss this in details in this part because the video will just go out of on a tangent, right? So small patterns can bring about disorder, and if they are out of balance, and this could be a good example is the heartbeat, and the body itself is a big balancing system, and we must organize our Shakti or our energy in our body. All the chakras have to be aligned in order that we are in the best possible health. So now Navratri is also associated with changing of food habits. It's like a reset that we have, or nowadays we call it the detox that we do. And this festival arrives generally when there is a season change or a transition in the season. That is in just after the monsoon and just before winter, around autumn. So you have a different kinds of light, the temperature and atmosphere is different. And so we start by, first of all, focusing on energies and detoxing ourselves. And fasting is a means of cleansing the systems and chanting of mantras. When you chant mantras, definitely you are having chakras in your body. There are lots of waves which are inside of you, and chanting of mantras, which are based on certain sounds, bring a rhythm into the body and bring a sort of a systematic similarity in the body. So if there is some kind, it's like fine tuning a radio. If some chakra is not in the correct frequency, if you chant a mantra, maybe it will help in going back to its normal way of working. And thus we also have dance and music, which is the rhythm in the chaos that is there. So when you're dancing, you're also moving and balancing yourself. This part I will discuss it a little bit later. And dancing is also, when you go to a garba and a lot of people get together, you're celebrating joy and celebration, and community building. And when you dance, you release happy hormones, and dancing in general helps your body in releasing all the toxins, and you feel better when you dance. So you're also celebrating the grace of the divinity and the energy of happiness and release. So Navratri is not only just about good versus evil, and celebration, and wearing beautiful clothes. It's also to reset the mind and the body, and with the correct spirit to focus, which is there. So all of these things is an aspect in which human beings start feeling happy, that we are celebrating something together as an individual in worship. We are cleansing our body, and we are remembering the goddess and her grace and the power that she gives into us, the Shakti. And we're also meeting different people who are celebrating the same aspect which is there in nature. So now we come to the food and the health aspects of Navratri. So the ancient wisdom told us to eat light sattvic foods during Navratri. Sattvic food is basically a diet of fresh, pure, and natural foods that are balanced. These food items, which are generally plant-based and lightly cooked to bring about some physical and mental clarity. The main idea is to bring about calmness and overall well-being, and this is rooted in the Ayurveda. The diet emphasizes whole grains, and we have a similarity in modern life called intermittent fasting, right? So what do these ideas, concept, be it Ayurveda or intermittent fasting, tell you is that to detox the body and to improve your gut health. And they all say that a little bit of stress of the on the body is good for you, but because when you have a little bit of stress, your body can develop the ingredients required to fight the viruses which are there, or fight whatever that is coming into you, right? So a little bit of stress is always good, so that you're always aware and you're able to manage this stress in a proper way by developing systems in which you can get rid of these stresses, right? So Devi Durga also faced a lot of negative energies and asurs who were attacking her. So she, with different methods, she combated each and every one in a systematic way and got rid of them. So Devi Shakti is there in this way as well. So develop, concentrate yourself in order to develop this energy to, fight the small amounts of stress that are required in order to take some action towards them, to keep yourself fit. All right, so that is really required. And that is also the reason why many times doctors avoid giving antibiotics to patients and say that let your body heal by itself, let it develop the strength and fight on its own, because now we have some viruses which are not reacting at all to antibiotics. They're antibiotic resistant. So so that is a problem which is coming. So you develop your body in the fittest way in order to combat this, uh, any germs which come in, viruses come in. So it's for your own fitness. So if you're fit, then everything falls into place. So they encourage of taking in probiotics like yogurt, homemade foods, in moderation, fresh clean water, semi raw foods. Raw foods completely, only salads are not good for you. You have to have some light cooking thing. It's good for your stomach, and they say that even eating whole fruit is a very heavy item, so you should do everything in moderation. Take fresh fruits, and nuts are good for you. Even homemade yogurt and pickles are good for you, which your grandma made. they have got a natural probiotic, so you go for those. So microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, and viruses, uh, they breed in a specific habitat. So in the human gut or in the soil. So when the biome is in balance, it contributes to many healthy benefits, right? But when this microbiome, which is there in the body, it is out of balance, it causes problems in the gut and in other areas of the body. So, so what happens is basically there's a disturbances in the stomach. So these communities of microbes, due to many factors, become too many in the stomach, and they develop into colonies. So, so you have inflammation and lots of other gastrointestinal diseases, including irritable bowel syndrome, to be very uh, you know to be very specific. So the more you stay calm and unnecessary, your stomach is doing turns due to the stress and that you're getting, and you're not able to deal with the stress, or you're getting angry all the time, that means that there is a need to balance your chakras and manage the energy which is there, which is flowing through you, right? So a little bit stress is good, but too much is going to destroy you. So we have to meditate and balance and calm ourselves. So let's again think of Goddess Durga battling all the demons, and that is your immune system fighting toxin, stress, and disease. So, health is not an absence of chaos, but the power to ride the chaos which is there. So, in ancient times, the Ayurvedic practitioners may not have understood the precise mechanics of how the food affects the gene expression, but they did recognize that each individual has his or own unique constituents, right? So the constitution is different for each one of us. I am different from the other person. So, and this constitution is affected by our diet, our digestion, our lifestyle, the way we manage stress, and some environmental factors as well. So, our ancients also described the functioning of a mind and body in terms of the three main doshas which are there. Now, they talked about the Vata dosha, Pitta, and the Kapha. Um, and these are really important. So, Vata dosha, for example, includes processes responsible for movement at all levels of the physiology and excretion of wastes and also cognition. Now, now this primary location of Vata, for example, is in the colon, and this is where the microbiome, the gut microbiome that I spoke about earlier, is located. Now, Pitta dosha is responsible for functions of digestion and metabolism, and this is in the midgut. And Kapha dosha governs the growth and maintenance of structure and is located in the chest area. So you can see how wonderfully they have analyzed these systems, and how each uh, imbalance in the system is going to then affect your health in some way. So, so how did they analyze the problems that they are there in the body? So what they took, or what they looked at, were the distribution of the doshas, and which is called Prakriti, which you are born with. And Prakriti is also nature, isn't it? Mother Nature, Prakriti. Then an assessment was made in the state of the balance of the doshas. How is it? And that is called Vikriti. So we, every one of us has got a balance, a well, has a dominant Vat Prakriti at birth. So this is what they found out. And how do you balance yourself? Balance your body. I mean, basically eat a nutrient-rich diet, fresh vegetables. Now in this chart it says garlic, but this is a general diagram which they have made. So you allow yourself to sleep and for the energy to remain calm for some times. In a lot of temples, the goddess is like I think Tulsa Bhavani is also made to rest for some time. So she is put in a reclined position for some hours. So she also needs to relax the goddess energy, right? So you have to keep any machine has to come to a standstill in order to function properly. Otherwise, it gets overheated. Okay, there's too much energy going on. So get enough sleep to allow your body to produce immune fighting proteins. Okay, exercise regularly. Exercise is good for you. You have to be fit in order to battle the all the events which are coming into you. You need energy to deal with the stress which is there. You need energy to align yourself and to chant a mantra also, so that your vibrations are in rhythm. And yes, you must practice some relaxation techniques like yoga, where you stretch your body in order to make it calm down. So, Shakti means harnessing the life force that is all around you, all right? So, you take all that which is going inside of you and out of you and bring it to a proper balance which is there in the body by doing everything in moderation, eating in moderation, sleeping in moderation, and working out in moderation. So, if you work out too much, also the muscle also gets affected. So, you must not always work out all the time. You must relax also, so you are a fit person to handle with the stress which is there, just like the goddess did when she fought all the asurs and all the gunas which had come to destroy her and were harming the people and disturbing the gods. And this is how we must take our personal health as well. Now, just quickly, we will just talk about the three doshas and the balance in the chaos. You know me, I love to go into the details of things. So, you have the vata, pitta, and the kapha elements. Vata is air and ether, you can say. Pitta is fire and water. And kapha is the elements of water and earth. So, they have to be in balance. Otherwise, there is an imbalance, some problem can come. So, so you have to have a harmony of the three doshas which are there, and they are not fixed forces, but dynamic energies constantly shifting within us, like the dance of Shakti herself. She is also moving and dancing with joy, fighting people, and they are also changing. They are dynamic. They are not standing still. So, Shakti is that power that both stirs and stabilizes these forces. Just as Durga balances a fierce battle with serene grace, our health arises not from eliminating this chaos which is there, but from riding its wave. All the three doshas which are there are never still, they arise and fall just like the waves of energy or Shakti. Vata or Vat is the wind that moves us. Pitta is the fire that sharpens us, and Kapha is the earth that grounds us. But when they are off balance, these gifts, their gifts, you can say, become chaotic. We get anger, we become restless, we stagnate, or we get depressed. So, this is where Shakti reveals her secret. She is not about destroying chaos but weaving it into them. On one hand, she holds a weapon, the other hand, she blesses. Health is thus balance in motion, our harmony born from chaos by itself, right? So, we have the chaos of the wind, the positive points are movement and creativity, and when in balance, but can cause restlessness. This is the chaos of the wind. Pitta is fire and water elements. They fuel digestion and clarity, but imbalance leads to anger or inflammation. This is the chaos of fire. Kapha is the earth and the water elements. They ground you and nourish you, but when disturbed, they cause stagnation. This is the chaos of the earth. Now, we spoke about the three doshas. Let's talk about the three gunas. Three doshas and three gunas are deeply connected to each other. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So they are how are they connected? Vata is restlessness. If it is restless, Vat is restlessness, you're feeling restless, the mind becomes rajasic. When Pitta flares, anger clouds, the Sattva. When Kapha stagnates, Tamas grows heavy. So Sattva is clarity and harmony. Rajas is movement and desire. Tamas is rest and inertia. They, like the three doshas, are never still. They rise and fall and shape our thoughts, moods, and choices. Everything is connected. The three gunas and the three doshas are connected to each other. So, when Vat, as I said before, is restless, the mind becomes rajasic. When Pitta flares, anger clouds the Sattva. When Kapha stagnates, Tamas grows heavy. That is inertia in our body. So now whatever I said before, it has been shown very nicely in this diagrams. So Shakti is the thread that binds the three doshas and the three gunas. Uh, she stirs the gunas, she shifts the doshas, and she shows us that health is not in a frozen state but a dance. Body and mind moving together, chaos and balance held in the same hand. So this is what this diagram tries to say. Now in the next diagram you will see a better representation of the chakras and the kundalinis. Uh, Now I'll go to the next, this previous diagram. You will get two more diagrams after this video is over, so please click on them. They are explaining, for example, the diagram of the Kundalini in greater details. You can see it after the slide. This slide is over. So Shakti is therefore the inner balance. So Navratri is therefore not just a celebration of dance and fasting. Shakti is not just in temples, she lives in how we eat, how we move, how we live, and how is our attitude towards ourselves and our lives and other people. By embracing chaos as a creative, we discover that health is harmony, dancing is balance and movement. Health benefits of dancing are many, you know that it keeps us very fit, and it's a circular motion, just like the way the galaxy moves or how chaos is described. It's a circular motion, and we are also celebrating the victory of the goddess and victory of ourselves against all our enemies and all the problems that come to us. So our happy hormones are released. So we must practice mindfulness. We must fast to focus ourselves. We must meditate and dance ourselves to happiness. So let us not just worship Shakti, Goddess Durga. Let us awaken her in ourselves, in our bodies, in our minds, and in our communities to have peace. Because from chaos comes renewal, and from Shakti comes life, which is our hidden strength. So thank you very much for listening to this very detailed video on Shakti, the energy, Navratri, and what it means for good health and good community. And after this talk is over, you will see two more slides if you're interested on where each and every goddess is in our body according to the chakras. And they will also give you the gods which are equivalent. So please do have a look after I'm done speaking. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Do let me know what you think of this video. Bye bye. Happy Navratri to you.